Okay, thank you, Bob. Well, I want to show I want to briefly talk about a project that is called RISE, a Repository of Interactive Social Assets for Learning. So the idea here is we ask a question like, what is it that people are doing with technology outside of the university in every day, in their information work, in information practices, and the things that people are doing, they're publishing content, they're engaging in social networking through Facebook, they're kind of managing their own collection of resources that they find useful and so on and on. So based on that idea, we developed this system that works along the line which I will explain in a moment. If you just allow me 1 second to log in. By the way, this is the interface of the system, which is available at web address rise.cite.hku.hk. If you don't have an account, you will be able to see publicly available assets that are uploaded by different people who participate in activities of Faculty of Education. So it includes teachers and students. So anything the student or teacher uploaded and saved in the system is available for you to have a look. And this is one, for example, one particular asset. In this case, it's a PowerPoint presentation. Go bit down. It's a PowerPoint presentation. This is the avatar of the person who provided this asset. In this case, would be somebody called Carmen. And this a brief description of that asset, and then some comments from people in relation to that asset, and then you can add this to other place. Or you can use this embed tag to, if you like this particular asset, then you can use this embed tag from here to actually embed that asset in other places, like a blog, for example, or a web page, or anywhere else. So if you have account, you can. If you don't have account, you can just sign in, but you need to have Hong Kong new email in order to register for account in this system. We're also developing a publicly available version, which is going to support our knowledge exchange initiatives, and that will be coming soon. But at this stage, you can sign up for account only by using the Hong Kong new email. Okay, so I log into my space, and now you see the interface change. Now it's customized, kind of it says, recognize me as a user, so it gives me all these other options. So I have things like all assets, these assets from everybody else who upload this asset, they made it public for me to have a look at. So I can see the most recent, I can sort them out most recent, the most popular, and then if I like some assets, let's say I like this first one here, I can either preview the asset by clicking which will download the PowerPoint presentation for viewing, or I can actually engage in the discourse by commenting to the asset or discussing it with other people, or I can add to my basket. Adding to basket would mean I can save this asset so that I can easily find it later on in my own space. You can search for assets either by searching. You have to warn me of the time, so I'm not watching the time. You can search for some keywords, or you can use this cloud tag. These are all tags of these are user tags. People who upload assets, they would add few keywords about assets to describe it in their own way. So you can kind of click on one of these to sort out and to see, for example, let's say I want to see everything that is being labeled as learning objects. So I click on learning objects, and now I have here a list of resources, several pages of resources that have been labeled as learning objects. At the same time, I have these two buttons. One is RSS feeds, which means I can feed the resources from here into another place. Like, let's say I want to feed to iGoogle, I can do that, or maybe to Moodle, or to my blog. So then I will get information of latest resources on this particular tag learning object. Or I can subscribe. If I subscribe, then that will go to my own space, which means every time that somebody actually uploads something and tags it as a learning object, then I will get that information. If I'm not interested in if I say, okay, this interesting learning object that is provided by somebody called Pauline, I can click on this icon, then I will get all things that Pauline has uploaded. So now I can subscribe to Pauline, so I can trace her activities in the future. Everything new that she puts in, I would be able to kind of be informed about it. So what's the rationale behind this is actually the idea of connecting to people, like-minded people, people who share same ideas, same resources with you, something that you like about the things that they're putting up, so you must start networking with them. So if I like Pauline, I can make her as my friend. Then under my socialize, I would be able to, okay, I will subscribe to Pauline, so that's one thing. Another thing, I can go to my socialize and then add Pauline as a friend, and in which case I would be able to get updates of my friend's activities. So Bob is my friend. He's been very active in the last few days. So
We're good friends.
yeah, but I get all different people that I'm tracking. So like in the Facebook, I get a track of their activities. Under socialize, I have another features, like I create groups. Let's say I want to create a group for my class, and then I share things with my class. So let me show you actually how that works in terms of asset. Under Daniel's asset, I have three things. My assets, these are the things that I upload, whatever it is. It can be a website. So why collecting the websites are important for us as a collective? Is because we want to have an insight in a subset of the internet that is valued by our own community. So what are kind of things that our people find useful on internet? So of course you can join delicious or something else, but the idea here is very different. So I can see my assets, and if I want, these are my tag clouds, like all the assets that I added up, these are my clouds of the tags, which I can copy this cloud and put it in other places, anywhere I want, in a Moodle or other learning management system or blog. I can add asset, in this case, I add, let's say, give it a title, let's say I want to add PowerPoint presentation. I locate the file, give it a few tags, give it a description, and then I say, okay, I want this to be available publicly, which means people can access even without login. Or I want this to be private, just for my own use, because I'm managing my stuff in my own space. Or for groups, or for people who can log in. And then I can say, okay, I want to, this PowerPoint presentation, I own the copyright, and I want to license this under Creative Commons. Maybe I want to allow non-commercial use, no, and this other regulation, which I will not talk now about that, I don't have time, but we're encouraging Creative Commons sharing of the stuff. Then I certify that this is mine, it will be available there. I have my basket, which are the things that I saved. Remember that put this start I saved in my basket, so if I want I can remove. And finally I have my subscription, where I get information about people that I subscribe, kind of things that they adding. So I can manage this subscription. Remember I just added up Pauline, she's at the bottom, so I can remove her if I don't want her or keep her there. So, okay, that's all. I don't have more time to talk about this, but you're welcome to email to me, and if you want to have an account, you can sign in and create an account and try to explore using the system.
Great, thank you very much.